Basically, I'm an Australian of North European heritage, and I was born in 1949 in Adelaide in South Australia. I grew up in rural South Australia and joined the Department of Foreign Affairs in Canberra in 1973, and I came to Malaysia first in 1976 working for the Australian High Commission. I was here for 3 years, left in 1979. This year, my main purpose of coming to Malaysia was to firstly participate in Thaipusam, but secondly I was to also gather further information for my book on Indians in Malaysia, and thirdly to gather research material for my other book, which is on Thaipusam in Malaysia, and I'm halfway through that at the present time. I started to learn about Hinduism when I came to Malaysia. I had really very little knowledge of any of the religions of Malaysia when I came here, and I had no religious beliefs at all to speak of. And I realised that most of my students were Muslims, and unless I understood something about Islam, I wasn't going to relate very well to my students. So I started to read about all of the different religions, and I found in Malaysia the culture is such that if you take one step towards Malaysians, they will take 5 towards you. And I got a lot of invitations to different festivals and to different functions, which showed me the practical aspects of religion on the ground. But really the interest in Hinduism was really spurred when I first saw Thaipusam in 1978, because it was unlike anything that I'd ever experienced in any form of religious culture. Didn't know how this would be accepted in Malaysia. The idea of a European from outside the Hindu tradition joining with Hindus in a particular festival like this. And I wrote to my friend Mr. Tanapal, with whom I had worked in the Australian High Commission, and he arranged for me to participate in Thaipusam from a small temple in the Indian settlement near Batu Caves. I'm still associated with that temple even now. And so I came up and I took my first kavadi on the 20th of January 1981. And that itself was an interesting experience. To take the kavadi, you have to undertake what is called a fast. And we understand a fast as not eating, but in actual fact what it means is that for a given particular period of time you must be a vegetarian, strict vegetarian, you must refrain from alcohol and tobacco, you must sleep on the floor by yourself in a clean place, and you must keep your temper, you must refrain from bad language or anything like that. So basically you're trying to conduct yourself. It's actually moving away from the life of a householder to become, for a small period of time, a sannyasin. Okay, I'm working on 2 books at the moment. The first one is Indians in Malaysia. Now, the original title was From the Malacca Sultanate to Hindraf, but in actual fact it's now going to have another chapter which goes beyond Hindraf to the present time. That book has been through peer review, and it will be published sometime this year. And it looks at the Indian experience in Malaya and Malaysia. The second book will be on Thaipusam in Malaysia, and although it will mainly look at Batu Caves, it will also include references to Penang. And so that book I'm hopeful it'll be finished in about mid-June, then that will be subject, of course, to peer review before it's published, so that will probably be next year. But the book Indians in Malaysia is definitely this year. There will be some people in Malaysia that will not send me Deepavali cards when it's published. Just basically, Malaysian Hindus have given me far more than I can ever repay. And I always feel an enormous debt of gratitude when I mean I love Malaysia and I love the Malaysian people and I love coming here, but I've had so much hospitality and kindness from Indian Hindus, I can never repay that. And so that would be my message.